time for News You Need. News You Need is a look at current events and how they affect the college community and beyond. And now here's the host of News You Need, Dr. Ed Simpson.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to yet another exciting edition of News You Need. This is the show where we talk to the best human beings in the entire world, which is our USM students. So we have another great panel today here to talk about everything in the world, which we generally solve, Dr. Hale, most of the problems in the world every week.
Yeah, consistently. We're 100%. We're batting great.
We really are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask everybody to introduce yourselves. Dr. Hale, who are you?
So I am Dr. Brent Hale. So I get dragged in here every week. I really thought last week it was over, but here we are. I'm back again.
You're
I
back
don't understand
again.
how this keeps happening. So I am a media psychologist and social media specialist. Those are the things that I specialize in most specifically, but communication is kind of my forte. So I'm here to talk about the news. I also do, in fact, read the news.
Okay.
At least sometimes.
I do love it. Okay.
Hi, my name is DJ Roberts. I'm the president of the Eagle Gaming Club, and I'm the secretary of the USM Live Music Club.
Wow.
I feel a little out of my depth here, just because I play video games and music. So but I mean, hey.
Well, I suspect others of our students also play
Also
video,
play video
games
games and
and
like
listen to
music,
music.
yeah.
So that's great. I do want to hear more about the Eagle Gaming Club. What do you got?
Hi there, I'm Dante Anding. I am the president of Sexual Assault Prevention Ambassadors, and I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here.
What's your major?
I am a senior psychology major with a minor in management.
Oh.
So if y'all need an HR department,
There you go. And what's your major?
Computer science.
Ooh, okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Sanjida Islam, and I'm currently a senior and majoring in computer science. I'm an international student here at USM from Bangladesh, and as for my leadership, I am the vice president of Girls Who Code USM chapter, and then I am also senator in the Student Government Association. I'm an international student ambassador, and also I am currently serving as the senior resident assistant in Scott Hall.
Wow. Well, you're very busy. All you guys are very busy. So talk to me about Eagle Gaming. So I know we have gaming teams.
Like the esports team?
The esports team. This is not that, though.
This is not that.
Okay, so what is this? What
we
is
are
the Eagle
separate
Gaming
from esports, both the esports teams and the esports club, because there's a club as well for it. We're more like casual. Our club's basically just an excuse to just kind of get together, hang out, meet new people. We just play like a lot of party games and stuff like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
And Jackbox and stuff.
Wow, that is old school.
Oh, yeah.
Mario Kart is old school.
In fact, actually, tonight we're playing like old Mario parties, like the old N64 ones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's gonna be
So
great.
who has the stuff?
So it's a mix of me and the other officers. Usually, we either bring like our Switches or whatever we need to play the games that we're going to be playing, and then we just book a room with the union and we have the projector set up. Sometimes if we have enough, we'll bring a couple extra TVs.
Okay, interesting. And how many folks are playing at any given time?
Usually I want to say between 8 and 12.
That's a good group. Are you playing each other, or are you playing the
Sometimes.
world, or you're playing? Okay.
Usually, most of the time it's just us either with each other or against each other.
Are you any good?
Me? Depends.
Yeah.
Depends on what we're playing.
Yeah, I can't.
I have a very important question.
Okay.
And my question is, when is going to be the Silk Song speedrun tournament?
See, I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Pending.
Do you really? Liam's shaking her head. I never heard of it.
We're working on that. It's in the works.
I don't know what that is. What is it?
It's a video game.
Okay.
It's called Hollow Knight Silk Song, if you're curious
just
about that. I
never-
played the original Hollow Knight all the way through. Fantastic game. Playing Silk Song right now. Am I ready to speedrun it? No.
See, Dr. Hale, you're killing the world, and I'm just not. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Okay, so sexual assault something ambassadors.
prevention ambassadors.
Prevention ambassadors. What do you all do?
So we talk about ways to destigmatize, sexual assault on campus, rape culture, stuff of that nature, and try to educate people about safety and just about what goes on and how to facilitate conversations about consent and stuff like that.
So you want to hear my pet peeve?
Yes.
Here's my pet peeve. we as a society, we teach women how not to be assaulted. We do not teach men don't assault.
No, yes.
That is my pet peeve. It is my number 3 pet peeve. So are you guys addressing that?
We are. We actually, in our recent meeting, we talked about the red zone, where essentially from now until Thanksgiving break, there's going to be an increase in sexual assault that happens on campus, whether at frat parties,
Oh,
you know,
interesting.
stuff like that. And we talked about like ways to keep each other safe. And like during our meeting, like as we were having this conversation, I basically wanted to say, like, as much as we can like have these safety conversations, why don't we just tell some of the, you know, the men of the world, like, hey, please stop hurting us.
I don't think you need to say please. I mean,
Pretty please.
It's just ridiculous.
That's
Yeah.
actually the first I've heard of like this particular
Yeah, me
time
too.
period. I've not heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
So the red zone.
The red zone.
And this is, so you're tying this to things like homecoming, big
Homecoming,
party times,
Party
right?
times.
Yeah, big party times.
rush events, anywhere where there's a lot of people and anywhere
Yeah.
where anybody's like pairing off.
Yeah,
That's-
so, and this is another one of the things, right? So a college campus is a small town.
Yes.
And so that means that you have all the issues that all towns have.
Mm-hmm.
Crime, good things, bad things, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's great that you guys are doing this. So are you guys affiliated with SAPA, or are you separate from SAPA, or are you?
We are SAPA.
You are SAPA, gotcha.
Um,
Sexual assault, that's what I meant. Sexual assault Prevention
Prevention
Ambassador,
Ambassadors.
SAPA. Sorry, dude.
That's
okay,
okay.
yeah. Okay, there you go. So there, what you do is important, so thank you for what you're doing.
of course.
And we should keep talking about it.
Yeah.
We really should.
Absolutely.
And I'll be quiet. Okay, so tell us about your club. What do you got going on?
So for Girls Who Code, Girls Who Code is a bigger organization, so we are just a chapter USM. So basically, they support like girls and non-binary people to get accounted and more like involved in like the technology world, and they would be like
Oh.
we as a USM club would host like workshops and then conferences. We would help them like go to conferences. As of now, we are doing a collaborative programming event, and like where people come in and they can collaborate and then create a project at the moment. And we also have other events coming up, but yeah, mostly that's what Girls Who Code does. And as an international student ambassador, I usually stand for international students, and I would talk to them, be a mentor to them whenever they are here. I would help them navigate to the life here, because coming from a different world, I know how it feels because I have like been through that experience. So I want to help other students be more comfortable and get accounted to here. And as a senator in Student Government Association, we stand as a student voice, and we would talk to people, like we would pass legislation of the events like around, like it could be about anything. And as a senior resident assistant, that's basically for residence hall, I'm there as a supervisor. So
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Wow,
how
you guys are so busy, and we have just a few seconds before the break. Jump in here.
No, I was just going to comment that sounds like every hour you have. It's now totally full.
Yeah, and you're not, so we got some guys who are playing video games, and you're out, you're out doing things.
I'm mostly like I'm trying to get more involved because I'm gonna graduate, so I wanted to leave Southern Miss better than I found it.
Well, there you go. And of course, our gaming club does that too. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we do that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a break, and we'll actually pick up with some headlines on the other side.
Sponsorship comes from Furniture Direct, with locations in
the show
Hattiesburg,
goes.
Laurel, and Columbia. Are you looking for a deal? Lots of styles on a good value? You can find them on Facebook at Furniture Direct Hattiesburg for the latest specials and promotions. Or you can shop anytime at FurnitureDirectNow.com. You can see why Furniture Direct is your furniture destination. Research shows that audiences feel positively about businesses that underwrite programming on their community radio station. Research also shows that the audiences are likely to patronize businesses that support community radio programming. The audience also believes that businesses that support community radio care about their community. If you want to build this type of relationship with WUSM's audience, call us at 601-266-4287 to ask about sponsoring programming. It's more than just exposure, it's building a community relationship.
Okay, and we are back, and we're kind of revisiting the whole gaming thing, I think. So here we go. So what are our students panel. What are our students talking about? What's news to our students this week?
I think like mostly what I've seen from around, like heard from people, people are mostly stressing about like the midterms mostly because fall break is coming up, and I can see the stress like in them. Like mostly whoever I'm talking about, and they're stressing like they're not doing well in classes. Like the teachers, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. I mean, that's kind of legit.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting when we talk about the news and kind of the way that news works on campuses, that there are these periods where it kind of stops, and this is one of them,
Yep.
where it's like approaching midterm and again at finals time where, you know, when we do this, we bring people in, we ask what's going on, they're like, we're studying. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, so It's
Yeah.
interesting we're kind of in that window again.
It does, definitely, absolutely. And but it is interesting to see what does break through, right? And certainly midterms is very stressful. We know for students. But is there, so there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the world. Is any of that reaching our students? Is there any discussions? Like if I said President Trump, would that spark any headlines that our students are talking about?
For the stuff I'm involved in, not really, but mostly just because for gaming club and live music, it's kind of just like a break from everything.
Gotcha.
So we go and we try. It's a bit of an escape to just kind of relax, chill out,
Yeah.
and just have a bit of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is more needed now than I think ever.
Yeah.
There's no question about that. Well, let me okay, so it's like pull a little teeth here just a little bit, but let me throw a couple of headlines at you, see what's broken through. So this week, your Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, brought in 800 generals to the Pentagon and yelled at them, saying that we don't want any fat generals, and we're going to cut our hair, as in we in the military, and we don't want any separate standards. So if women cannot pass, and this is what he said, the male standard, then women may not be in combat roles. So did this break through to our students, and do we care?
Honestly, I haven't heard of that news like until
Really?
you said.
Okay,
honestly.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have heard of it, but not through like students. I've heard of it through other means.
Okay, well that's legit.
I've also heard of it. Like I think this is the first time I've heard of it like right now. So,
Yeah.
Through other means.
So Dr. Hale, is this 1953 maybe?
Give or take a year or two, right? Yeah. It is interesting to be in this phase again of saying like, you know what, these are going to be the standards. Everyone's going to hold those standards, and you know, at the end of the day, it really is still following the same blueprint that we've been seeing. Like we need to return to
Something.
Insert
Yeah,
word here,
right.
normalcy. I think that's the word they would use.
Right.
And so just kind of putting these standards for whatever reason they have. I mean, it's all politically motivated, right? Which is interesting.
Yeah, and I do want to get back to this idea of political motivations here at some point. But what do our students think, do you think, about this idea of relitigating, refighting things like women in combat roles in the military? Can an African-American man in the military wear dreadlocks? Can all of these kinds of issues that are just swept aside in one one pretty tough speech this week? What do our students think?
I'm trying not to be speechless because this is truly like one of the more insane headlines that's like coming through because it's.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet.
I know, and that's truly the scarier part because it's like it's interesting to hear about what we've learned like through history classes growing up, and now to like see these headlines like being like coming out. It's like, oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Let's explore that a little bit. Go ahead.
I'd hope that the student body is just outraged by this because it's tearing down a lot of the progress we've made in the last 50, 60 years towards equality and towards everyone being treated equally despite gender, despite race, despite everything. and it's tearing it down to be, you have to be this, otherwise we're not going to let you in.
It seems like the default for everything, competence, admission, is being a white male.
I'm putting my devil's advocate hat back on
Dr.
because this
Hale.
is my role. Let me just ask this. Is it not the case that saying that women and men are held to the same standard, is that not equality? Challenging question for you.
Challenging question for me indeed. The problem with that is that the standard that they are being held to is a standard that is easier for men to meet. For white men specifically to meet. The standard is you have to be clean shaven, you have to be in a specific physicality, and all of the specifications that are being laid out are for cishet white men.
And even so, like, to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, it's like even if they, like, women and men, like, try to meet at that same standard, men are going to be treated very differently than women are, like, when trying to fight for that standard. And, like, black men and black women are going to be met. Everybody's going to be met. Anybody that's not a cishet white man is going to be met with different standards than a
And
cishet
by
white man.
cis, you mean heterosexual.
Cisgender heterosexual.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Taking a pass on all
this
that,
is
are you?
one of
Okay.
those places where the difference between equality and equity are important, right? And it is a very convenient argument to be like, we're gonna be equal, we're gonna create an equal standard, but that's not really where I would argue where we should be.
Well, and it's also completely false and an outrage, right? So this is the whole idea of anti-DEI. We're going to pass a bill here in Mississippi, HB 1193. We're going to be anti-DEI. We don't like diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's an absolutely false premise that somehow we are twisting standards by hiring people of color, by hiring women. That the military is somehow twisting standards because we say diversity makes us stronger, not weaker. I mean, there is empirical evidence that being diverse is better than not being diverse. I mean, we know this. 230 years of history has taught us that.
Yep.
But then just can't stand up and say, no, we're going to wipe away that 230 years of progress. Seems to me that's an issue. And our students are saying, yeah, we're kind of nodding along. Now, you said, and what sparked me is that you were reading the headlines from history class. It's like the headlines are repeating.
Yeah.
So what's in your mind? Can you feel like articulating that? What do you mean by that?
I guess I know, and I've been seeing this sort of like swirl around the media, anything like surrounding like World War II and what was going on in that time is kind of like making its rounds like currently in the world.
So what you mean is Germany 1933.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the rise of Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. We're allowed to say that.
It's fascinating, the parallels that are showing up.
Yep.
It's truly fascinating and also horrifying.
Yeah, and so this is a good time to pump our event on Monday.
Oh, good grief! I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead, jump in
I'm
there.
here. Yeah.
Go.
Okay, so on Monday, at 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 p.m. in fact, in Stout Hall A, we will be doing a News You Need live event where I will be in front of an audience dragged in to speak as per usual. And we'll talk with folks in front of the audience. And so there'll be an opportunity for folks to come and see what's going on and also ask very challenging questions that I will direct to you specifically.
Exactly. That's what I do. I answer challenging questions. And the theme of the show is processing the moment. So this is the idea that our students are indeed seeing things. Now, I will tell you, I'm really old. I'm super old. I have no analogous time to what we're seeing right now. You could say 1933 Germany. You might say 1997 Russia. Those but they're still not analogous because it's a very unique kind of thing that's going on. So the Monday event is meant to help our students sort of process this.
And I think it makes sense to come to that and actually have a special that really just focuses on that, because this is a theme that's been coming up for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Oh,
I mean, we've
every
been
show.
talking about this kind of rise of authoritarianism and the fall of democracy potentially. You can argue maybe someone would be like, you're being dramatic, but the collapse at least, or the the fracturing of American democracy, to really take a moment to really address that.
I think it
directly.
done fell.
You
What do
know,
you think? What do you think?
Yeah. This was something that's been in my mind, but with the shutdown of like the international multicultural engagement, PRISM, stuff like that, it's truly devastating that those students they don't have a space anymore, because it's mostly to just accommodate just white students, and with all these bills like coming out, it's devastating in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, second headline. Same event.
Okay.
This is also New York Times. So this is where the context here is Trump is talking directly to 800 generals, admirals of the military, and he wants to use our cities as training grounds, U.S. cities as training grounds to, quote, fight the war from within. Later on, he said, we have enemies within. Now, what he means by that, it's hard to tell because it's Donald Trump. But what apparently it means is there are certain of our citizens he wants to see unalive, behind bars, the subject of military intervention. We don't know, but what do we think?
That's some particularly vague language. If he wants to say what he wants to say, he should come right out and say it.
so that's not Donald Trump's,
I-
President Trump's rhetorical style. That's
I-
not
No,
what he
it's not.
does.
It isn't.
He
Yeah.
very purposefully creates these kind of vague threats that multiple people can interpret the way they want in order to get to the goal of everyone being
Right.
frightened. So,
Right.
that
Yeah.
is very purposeful.
I-
Very purposeful.
I can understand it. It's just more of it's like kind of hearing that it feels purposeful to create more divide, like in the political crisis.
Okay, so there you go. Let me throw a third headline at you. Now, you weigh in whenever you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Here's the third headline, and this is again New York Times. Most voters think America's divisions cannot be overcome. So this is from a poll, New York Times poll, where then the numbers are pretty startling. Something like almost 70% of the people in this country say that the political parties will not be able to solve our country's problems, that we cannot, there is no way for us to come together to solve problems. So how are we feeling about that? Have our students reached that point?
What do you think? Like,
I'm asking you all. I'll tell you what I think in a minute, but I want to hear from you all.
I think it's definitely I think it's gonna be sort of fed that way, kind of, because there's a lot of petty stuff. I don't want to say petty stuff, but there's a lot of real issues that I think both of the parties will consistently fight about until maybe there's some class consciousness that's learned and can come together.
Ooh,
So
hey, we may pick up with that. So we're going to take a break, and we may well pick up with some class consciousness after the break.
Imagine being denied an apartment because of housing discrimination.
It's so wrong.
But who has the power to stop this?
You do. The law is on your side. If you've been discriminated against because of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or familial status, file a complaint with HUD. Fair housing is your right.
Use it.
Visit HUD.gov/fairhousing, a public service message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
You may not realize how important 3 letters can be. For a patient who needs type A, B, or O blood, these letters can mean life, but there simply aren't enough people giving blood. Without more donors, hospitals may not have the blood needed to save lives. That's why the American Red Cross needs people to help restore the A's, B's, and O's that are depleting each day. You are the missing type patients need. Visit redcrossblood.org/missing types or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make your donation appointment today.
Hi, everybody, and boy, we are back, and as usual, we're talking through the break, and we'll have a new topic here in just a second. I'm going to throw it out there for you guys, for both of our listeners, meta vibes. Nope, we'll talk about it later.
Okay. Yes. I thought I was being called upon.
No, I'm just teasing. So Third headline. So this we talked about this third that cannot be overcome. This idea of have we given up on our democracy and have we given up on working with each other as a society?
I think at the current point that we're at, it's getting harder and harder to work with each other to try to cross the aisle and compromise. I say compromise, but like to work together to try to fix problems that affect us all when we're busy squabbling over things that ultimately don't matter as much as things like public welfare and helping people. And we're too worried about things like, oh, there's too many minority groups out there who are working jobs that white people can have.
Yeah.
And we're too worried about stuff like that it's hard to, especially when one side is so steadfast in what they believe and the other side is just giving up more and more and more ground trying to compromise, trying to not lose whatever fence sitters they have.
Yeah.
I would say I agree on that. As nobody can ever agree on one single point. Everybody has their own opinions, and it's always clashing. So I think that could be the reason of not being able to be together, and as a society, as you said, earlier.
Any thoughts on that?
Well, I just wanted to mention real quick, related to the poll that's being referenced here, I'm a little more optimistic than the numbers give, because if I remember correctly, the poll was taken immediately after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And so because of that, the numbers are probably a little bit inflated. But having said that, it is following a trend and a pattern that we've been seeing for a while. So there clearly is this continuously escalating tension that is unavoidable. However, I am more optimistic that this can still be reconciled.
Yeah,
I know you're not, but
yeah. Well, so so deep in the poll, there is some hopeful information. Is that about 10% from each side is in Democrat Republican, which, by the way, sides didn't used to be Democrat Republican. It used to be more conservative liberal. It used to be more community individualistic, all those kind of things. But now it is truly Democrat Republican. That's the way we've landed, which is not healthy in my view. But there's only about 10% on each side that label the other as the enemy. Now, I'm sure that's going to rise when you have your president. That's the constant drumbeat from the White House, is the Democrats are radical. I think this morning he put out a social media post that Satan is in the Democratic Party. It's on and on, right? So now so I would say that the people can fix this very easily. The people just have to fix it. That's our system. The people have to fix it. That means you go vote.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at our young people here, and I'm just going to challenge it, right? Last election, less than 20% of you guys went to vote.
Yeah, it's a shame. Really is a shame.
The first time in the 70s when you guys got the right to vote, 18 and 20, they lowered the voting age to 18, more than 70% voted, right? So the country that we have today is a direct result of our young people not voting. So go vote. So
you don't have to tell me
that's
twice.
my rant. That's my rant. As much as I love our young people, I want them to go vote. Dr. Hale, Meta Vibes. What's that?
Yeah, so to continue our conversation of leaving reality entirely,
yes,
I wanted to just mention something that I think is very fascinating. So I mentioned at the beginning I'm a social media specialist. This is the thing that I pay attention to. So Meta, of course, is the company that owns and operates Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And they unveiled in the last week what they call Meta Vibes, which is a, quote, new feed of AI videos.
Oh.
So it is a feed dedicated to AI slop, which is amazing and terrible. I think that's fascinating, and the feedback they got afterward was uniformly very negative. Like, why would we do this? It is built into the feed. You can just go and say, you know what? I've decided I don't want people in my life anymore. I just want the bots. And you can get a whole feed of that. That's wild.
Wow.
And it's not the only one. This last week, there are multiple platforms. OpenAI also has created.
The Sora 2.
Yes, and that also has a feed of just AI-produced stuff. How fascinating. Forget humanity. We're just going to the bots.
So have you guys seen this?
Have not.
I've not.
Oh
I
my
have
God.
not.
You got to go check it out. So Sora 2, what I saw was Sora 2, where you can put your picture, you input your picture, a good picture, and then it makes 10-second videos with you, your buddies, whatever, doing whatever it is you tell it to do. And apparently the quality is so good that you could not tell.
I haven't heard of that. I heard of the Google VO3, the thing they had out. Like, that's creating movies, and that's like AIs making like prompts themselves, and that's sometimes it's scary.
Yeah.
At that point, why don't you just make your own video?
I mean, some people would argue like probably it's like saving them money, like they don't have to hire. So in some way,
I mean,
like,
so we have two computer scientists here. What are you guys thinking about this whole thing?
I do not agree because that's basically our jobs as a software engineers and stuff, and I'm afraid in the near future it would all be taken over by AI. But on the other side, a lot of people are arguing that AIs, we would have to always like make sure like it's working properly. They would need people, so it cannot totally take over. So yeah, that's like up for debate. So
I am so sick of AI being everywhere. I'm sick of it, and it feels like I'm banging my head against a brick wall being a computer science major, surrounded by people who are just like, oh yeah, just chat GPT it. Oh yeah, just use OpenAI. And I am so ready for the bubble to burst, because it is a bubble and it will burst. We've gotten to the point to where it's starting to feed off of itself for its scraping and its plagiarism. And it's getting to that point to where it will burst. It's just a matter of when, not if.
So we have professors using AI to write textbooks.
Yep.
Developing quizzes by robot that are taken by the robots on behalf of the students.
Yep.
Let's think about that for just a second.
And to think, I was trying to add some positivity. Not really. I'm being facetious.
Well, yeah, no,
We've descended further down the
We
spiral.
threw. There doesn't seem to be any light. Although real quick, and Liam, we're going to close out here in about 1 minute. We are long as usual. But did we all go and pick up our copy of Life of a Showgirl? Did we do that?
I've not.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
I have
But you don't have. You didn't get your copies?
I don't know what it
Can you
is.
explain what that is? I don't.
Oh, she's teasing. I think I'm being teased.
Oh
So
my God.
Taylor Swift, right? Taylor Swift.
Oh.
I will tell you, there's some lyrics on there. Fascinating. From a psychology person. Fascinating. There's something wrong with Tay-Tay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
when
go look
making that
Yeah,
observation.
track 10. Check out track 10.
Well, I forced you to do the K-pop Demon Hunters,
You
so
did-
I guess
we
I'll
did.
pursue
We were gonna
this.
make it. We came this close to doing a show without mentioning K-pop Demon Hunters, which is now my favorite movie.
I'm keeping it running.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, last one, Liam, and then we're gonna hit it, which is, are we all watching Diddy? Diddy is getting sentenced today. Do we care?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we don't care that much because he's okay. So he's getting. Do we think he should get a big sentence?
Yes.
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 We do. We don't
Yes.
like
Yes.
Diddy.
No.
No.
No, with all the
You guys are
news,
mean.
no.
You guys are mean. Okay, there you go. I don't know. I think he was being sentenced this morning, so it might well be out there by now. Okay, this has been a production of Southern Miss Student Media. Our producers are Annabelle Laird and Lily Berghard. Thank you, guys. Our video producer is Isabella Michaud, and our engineer is Liam Keenan. And we will be back for a special edition on Monday at 4, and then we'll have our regular show next Friday.
This has been News You Need with Dr. Ed Simpson. News You Need airs Friday afternoon at 12:30 on Southern Miss Radio.